All I'd say is just be careful with your time because you can't take any of it back. If you're going to commit to doing a project, do it because it integrates with the rest of your plans.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, David Bain. Previously, episode 1315 of the 12-Minute Convos podcast. It's been just 2 years, 2 months, 26 days, 5 hours, and 15 minutes, plus or minus a few, since we last recorded that conversation. My friend, how are you doing today?
I'm very well indeed. Thank you very much, Angel. And it's an honor to be on your show once every 1,300 episodes.
Oh, no, I said it then. I'll say it again. Your voice. Oh, it's such of a pristine opportunity on my ears. You sound so great. Are you a podcaster? Of course, I'm joking, right?
Oh, I think we should do a poll. I'm sure your listeners would prefer your voice significantly.
I believe you said that the last time. Yes. But my friend, what's going on? Of course, the podcast at that time when we spoke, Digital Marketing Radio, how have things evolved?
I'm continuing to do crazy things. I've actually put the podcast Digital Marketing Radio on pause for a little bit, partly because we had a conversation last time and my son was just about to be born. He's now over 2 years old, and it's good to spend some time doing family things with him as well, and partly because I wasn't entirely comfortable with the brand because I wanted it to encompass other things, such as books, such as live streaming and other things as well. So I've established a new brand called Marketing Now, and the intention is to launch another podcast under that name over the coming few months.
Now, you are a monster when it comes to going after big, hairy, audacious goals. Of course, on the podcast, we love the number 12, and you had a summit, right? 120 people. 10 times 12, right? How was that? Digital Marketing in 2019, I believe it was called, right? Am I accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that was turned into a book with 134 people in it. So the book itself is called Marketing Now, but yeah, it was over 120 people over 8 hours, one person every 3 minutes.
How was that?
Look, you're the king of audacious goals, so
I've never done anything like that. It's
you've done plenty of comparable better things. Your tours around America as well. That was phenomenal as well. But look, it's all something that you, I guess, step up into becoming better at. You're not going to start with doing something crazy like that, and then when you get experience podcasting and then doing videos, doing live videos, interacting with the audience and having multiple guests on at the same time, then you can step up the number of guests as long as you're comfortable with the technology that you're using. So as long as if you've gained the experience and you're using a decent booking system and decent technology, then hopefully it can be done.
Yeah, they could have paid you to test their system, right?
Breaking point. I think I've broken several systems before, yes.
That's wonderful. So how has things been? You said when we last spoke that when I asked, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to, right? And you said, yes, I believe so. I'm having a son in a month's time, right? Do you still want to give him that? Does he even want those skills?
I think you come to realize that he'll do whatever he wants to do. And, you can guide people in a certain direction, but unless they actually want to go in the direction that I guess you have attempted to design, then there's no point in even getting people. So you just do the best that you can do. You help people along the way. I guess some people will be consuming the content that I have published online for many years to come, touch wood. And hopefully, I guess that's one of the ways that I may touch people in the years ahead.
It's remarkable, I think. So one of the things I remember is when I get an idea, but when someone that I'm speaking to about the ideas, they light up. So the idea to go across the US and Canada came, and then I went to my wife, right, in the perfect timing, right? And I remember that particular moment. So, with these goals that you set, do you have a similar situation, or is it that you just set it, it happens, and then you go for it?
I think it's easier to see steps that you've taken when you're looking back instead of actually planning forward. I mean, I do attempt to plan, but it becomes clearer what you've done looking back on it. I mean, for instance, to publish the book, I've taken 6 distinct steps in order to do that. I've gone from audio podcasting to begin with to upping my audio quality to make it pro quality, to moving on to pre-recorded video, stepping into live streaming, then hosting virtual live summits and taking that content and publishing it as a book. That wasn't, a set of goals, a strategy beforehand, but I think anyone looking to do a similar kind of thing should look to follow that kind of sequence.
There has to be a financial balance in the midst of this. And I'm thinking while I'm talking to you, right? That gives you the opportunity to have the room to strategize the way you strategize, which is you're not seeing the next traffic light until you get to the first before it. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is. I mean, talking about looking at things from a financial perspective, you obviously have to have enough income coming in to begin with. But if you're doing an exceptional job or doing as good a job as you can with something that you're passionate about, you'll become very good at it. And because people feel the passion and see the skills in what you do, then you will naturally generate income as a result of doing that in ways that you may not necessarily have planned out beforehand. I'm currently producing podcasts for other people. I'm currently hosting shows for other people, producing content for other people, as well as the books that I've written as well. So those financial streams have evolved as a result of just doing what I wanted to do.
I saw an interview with Guy Kawasaki somewhere when I was preparing for this conversation. Is that just an image, or was that a real thing? I'm joking.
Yeah, no, I interviewed Guy Kawasaki. I've got this on-off podcast that I occasionally do called Business Book of the Month. It's just because I grabbed the domain name businessbookofthemonth.com, and I quite fancy the concept of once a month just getting together with a kind of a group of friends and all encouraging each other to read the same business book and then reviewing what we'd learned from that. And it was a great concept, but it was just herding cats to get us all together into the one room. So I got back into it just myself, interviewing top authors instead of actually discussing books. So yeah, to be honest with you, I'm not sticking rigidly to it because I'm focusing on other things that are probably more core to my business model. But over the last few months, I've still managed to interview, the likes of Guy Kawasaki, Ryan Levesque as well, Marcus Sheridan, Chris Ducker as well. So decent authors.
The 4H model, I believe that was one of the most golden shares in the format that you shared. Do you remember that, or do you need me to remind you?
Yeah, I came up with it because I'm a digital marketer at heart, and I've designed digital marketing courses for a long time, since about 2007 or so. So I'm always looking for a good structure to have at the center of everything, because there's so many different digital marketing activities out there. You need something that ties it together. And I came to think that actually content marketing is at the center of every successful digital marketing activity, be it paid or organic or something else. I had a look for other content marketing models that was out there, and there weren't many, but one I found that I quite liked was Google's Hero Hub Help model. Help was originally called Hygiene, and then they changed it to Help. But to me, the model missed something. It missed what was a landing page, and you need the type of content that's going to convert people and make it likely for them to buy your product or service. So I decided to call that heart content, the heart of what a business or service does, just to add to the model, to what I see as complete the model, thus becoming the 4H model.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Again, it was hard content and then hero, right? Just for those that
Yeah.
are listening to fully understand what you're doing, right? So it's, let me know if I got this correct, right? So it's heart, hero, hub, and then help. Yeah?
Yes, exactly. I mean, just to go into slight bit more of depth, so Heart, obviously, we've already emphasized it's about the landing page. Hub content is episodic content. So that could be a podcast series, it could be a blog series, it could be a video series on YouTube or something like else. But generally, it's episodic content that people will come back to, and it's great for authority building for your own personal brand and for your business brand as well. Help content is based upon the types of queries that people are likely to type into your website or into Google about your type of business or service. While they're actually deciding whether or not to make a purchase. So what you want to be doing is answering people's questions on your website. Great book by Marcus Sheridan on that topic called They Ask, You Answer. Hero content. So hero content is one-off, just incredible pieces of content that is much more likely to get shared socially, that people will absolutely love and really resonate with, and the type of content that you can keep as evergreen and drive a lot of traffic to it.
I love it, my friend. It's been such a grand opportunity to touch back here and to hear that you've continued. You've done like the great Winston Churchill, right? You've not given up, and that is absolutely amazing. Of course, in reflection, looking back to see the results of it, again, thank you. For me, it is both inspirational and motivational to hear that, and I'm sure for those listening, hey, if you didn't get inspiration out of that, well, I do not know what you are going to need. David, again, a grand opportunity. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Look, all I'd say is just be careful with your time, because you can't take any of it back. If you're going to commit to doing a project, do it because it integrates with the rest of your plans.
I love that. Ooh, I love it. Again, thank you, my friend, for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.